Hi everyone, this is Michelle again, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to read a portion of one of my favorite author's books. Her name is Amy Sumida. The book is book 18 in the God Hunter series, and the title is called My Soul to Take. It is featuring the main character, Vervain and her husbands as they go to Neverland to attend a party. And I'm doing this video because I want to make sure that my equipment works for my speech class. The video has to be between 5 and 7 minutes. Here's the scene. You ready? Azrael looked back at me and I nodded. He stepped into the ether ahead of us. Trevor, Odin, and I went next, and then Kirill and Rob brought up the rear. We emerged under an arbor of grapes and standing on a brick road. The road wound through a field of flowers up to a giant pirate ship. The ship had a flat bottom and sat securely on a hill. Towers jutted up from its decks in feats of impossible architecture, snubbing their noses at both the sky and gravity. Between the towers, rope nets were strung, and off one of them a giant hot air balloon was tethered. At the bottom center front of the ship, a large door was hanging open, and steps led down from it to the road. But that wasn't even the most amazing part of the scenery. Around us, just past the fields of flowers, to either side of the road, was a sporadic forest. Groups of trees sprouting in random patterns here and there. Amid the trees were carnival rides of strange designs, everything either too big or too small, like the miniature carousel and the supersized bumper cars. There was an enormous inflatable ball set on a platform and braced with stilts. Inside it was a plastic scene of a little town, giving the ball the appearance of a gigantic snow globe, except instead of snow falling, there were children, bouncing off the squishy buildings with delight. It was a bouncy house, or more accurately, a bouncy ball, with houses inside it. Then there were toys of unusual sizes, including a rocking horse large enough to seat 20 children, and a rather terrifying jack-in-the-box as tall as a 2-story building. It loomed above the children, waving about on its enormous spring, but they loved it. Several were hanging from its hand and laughing. Amid all of this was a crystalline lake. At the center of the lake was an island, and in the center of the island was a sand castle. But this sand castle was the size of an actual castle and was sturdy enough to live in. I knew it was inhabitable because I saw a mermaid swim to shore, shift her tail into legs, and then stroll into the castle as casual as can be. A train wound through the woods and headed toward the pirate ship house on the hill. It was painted in bright colors and had huge stuffed animals hanging out of the windows. In fact, one of them was driving the thing. It tooted the steam whistle and disappeared behind the ship. And everywhere there were children of all ages, both girls and boys, jumping, shouting, laughing, playing all over the damn place. They launched themselves off the ramparts of the sandcastle and jumped into the lake. They swam in the water and staged mock sword battles on the shore. They filled the carnival rides and screamed with glee. They even pulled a Mary Poppins with the carousel and rode the horses right off the platform. It was an overload of sounds and sights, from the bizarre to the ridiculous. An orange stuffed tiger bounced over our heads. "I'm sorry," I pointed after the tiger. "Was that Tigger?" "Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!" Tigger laughed as he bounded away. "Yes, I believe that was he," Odin said dryly. I looked down at the bricks we stood on. They were bright yellow. "Is this the yellow brick road?" "Yep," Trevor grinned. "We're off to—" "No, you will not," Odin cut him off. "We got a lion," Trevor chuckled, "and the tiger just went by. All we need is a bear, Odin, and you can shift into anything. Help us out here." "No," Odin grimaced as the little boy flew by, holding the rope of a very large kite. He was giggling hysterically. "This is amazing," Rob elbowed Odin. "You have to admit you've never seen anything like this. Pan is a psychotic genius." "Yes, I freely admit that," Odin shook his head, "though I'm surprised that Horace would want his engagement party here." "You're here for the engagement party?" A rabbit in a waistcoat hopped up to us. He pulled out a pocket watch and I nearly fainted from happiness. "You're just on time. Well done." It's, I pointed to the rabbit with a huge grin. "I am Mr. White," the rabbit bowed. "If you would just follow the yellow brick road." I squealed in delight. Mr. White cleared his throat, and I tried to contain my excitement. "As I was saying, if you would but follow this yellow road here, it will lead you to the master's ship there. You will be met by a steward. He will show you where the grown-up party is." "Thank you, Mr. White," Kirill nodded, and the rabbit nodded regally back before hopping off. "Shall we?" "Oh, yes." I couldn't stop smiling. "I hope it's the Red Queen." "Who?" Trevor cast me a sideways look as we wandered up the yellow brick road. The steward, I rolled my eyes. Look at this place. It's like every storybook rolled into one. He must have collected imagery which he thought the children would enjoy, Azrael smiled sweetly. Our friend Pan has depths to him which I'd never imagined. He's a good guy, isn't he? I nodded to Az. Much more than the front he shows people, Odin agreed. I do admit that I'm touched by his kindness to these lost souls. I'm going to turn Pride Palace into the Mad Hatter's house, I declared. Niet, Tima, Kirill begged, as the others just shook their heads. We could have unbirthday parties every day, I whined. With tea. No, Odin glared at me. No way, I gaped at the steward who was waiting for us in the doorway of the pirate ship house. Thank you, Odin sighed. No, I huffed. I mean, no way. Look who it is, I pointed. Hello, the wooden puppet bowed to us, removing his jaunty yellow hat to sweep before him. Welcome to Neverland, friends of Pan. I am Pinocchio, I shouted and clapped. You've heard of me, the wooden boy beamed. I'm so flattered. You're famous, I nodded. I hope you've enjoyed this scene from Amy's book, and if you have, go ahead and grab this copy of My Soul to Take. And also, if you haven't read the God Hunter series, I highly recommend that you begin with the first book so that you understand what the characters are. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.